All right, OG Big T here with something a little bit different, a little more assembly. So expect a lot of this stuff to be on the cutting room floor. I'm just going to let it roll, and I'm talking to you guys, and I'm also talking to myself too. So what I have here is the Sachs 504. If you saw one of the earlier videos, this crank in the case was extremely rusty, and so I cleaned the case as best I could, and I had to actually saw. This is a replacement jug. This is a square jug, if you'll see it, more square. The other one, I'll show you later, maybe was more of a pyramid shape towards the top of the head, but the bolt pattern appears to be the same, right? So anyway, I got this one off eBay and I soaked it for a day in rust remover, and that's where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead, and I got me a piston and rings and all that stuff. So I'm going to just let this roll and all that. So one of the things is that usually these Sachs cases, it's easier to assemble them upside down because that's the way the screws go in. But it's a little disconcerting for me because I want to put the piston in the right way. So this is the way the case goes, and I know that because the clutch is on the left hand side and the flywheel is on the right hand side. And so if that's the case, and the crank is sitting in here, right, and here's the jug, and here's the exhaust port down here, right, that's the exhaust port, and that's a spark plug hole, and that's the intake for the carburetor, and that's the compression release, which I could not get out of here, but anyways, that's another story. Then that means that this is the way the jug would go on, this way, right? And so if that's the case, piston goes in here like that, then if that's the case, then the little arrow here would be pointing down towards the exhaust. So that's why I have it kind of assembled this way, so I could see which way this goes, which way the arrow goes on the piston. Because if I put that the wrong way, because I'm trying to assemble this upside down, well, that doesn't work too much anyway. So, all right, so first thing I'm going to do is I've got my little container of 2-stroke oil here, and I'm going to take the needle bearing, and I'm going to dunk this in some oil, right? Actually, I'll let that sit for a second. Take the crank out of here if I can. Yeah. Careful with this clutch, it's got some sharp edges. Pop that out, get this out of my way. Put this here, take my finger, put it in here, put some oil in here, right? Can't hurt to get 2-stroke oil in here. What's the worst that could happen? Over lubricated for a minute and it runs rich? Gee, what a shame that would be on a new build. I'd hate to seize it up. So I'm putting some oil in here and everything. I'm going to take my drippy needle bearing, shaking it off a little bit, and putting the needle bearing in there, and that needle bearing seems to go okay. All right, and I'm gonna take the. Actually, I'm going to stop for a minute. I need to get some tools. So here's another editing piece. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and put one of these circlips, these little guys, these guys, in the piston. I found it easier, or understand it's easier to put in one side, put it on the rod, push the pin in, put the other clip in, right? These things can be a little bit of a pain in the behind. So let me do this. So I can do this without mangling everything. It's going to end up on the cutting room floor for shizzle. Put this is not the good old circlip. This is a different kind of circlip than I'm used to. But anyway, so put in the side that doesn't have the ear, and see if I can push the other side in. Boy, there's going to be a lot of editing, I'm telling you right now. Grab it by the little ear, twist it in there, kinda, sorta. Well, that's no good. All right, that's our first faux pas. All right, we're back. So you guys help me remember that I sent one of these clips flying through the stratosphere. So what I did is I don't know if you can see that, but I got I had a couple with the little bunny ears, right? And so I'm putting those in instead there. I don't know why they switched to these other ones. They're so difficult. All right. So let me go ahead and guide the, put this back where it belongs. Snap. Okay. Put this where it belongs here. Okay, rod down there. Let's see. I didn't put anything there because there's a gasket there. Okay. So, I'm putting the case back on. All right, and then I'm gonna flip it. And remember, I had it the wrong way up with the sealant because I was trying to figure out which way the piston went. Okay. So now what I'm going to do while this is sitting on here is I'm going to lightly put in, no, that's the wrong one there, lightly going to put in the screws, put the screws to you. Okay, a couple more. There's 10 screws here. Okay, and like this. Okay. That should be good. Now, I got to remember which way the arrow's pointing. So the arrow is pointing up because I have it upside down, right? So I know that the exhaust is this way. So let me see if I can make sure this pin is lined up here. And it's a super thin gasket. So there's a cut that way. Yeah, it goes that way. There's the gasket. And you can see that the holes are elongated because it's made for different cylinders, which is good. And then this is these cuts kind of got to match. So let me put this over. Here, let's do this. There you go. We'll see how this video is going to turn out because we got an awful lot of cutting room floor stuff, you know? So let's see. If you go on here, Mr. Paper Thin, and I'm probably getting oil over it, and probably people are going, what the hell are you doing? Okay. All right, we're back here, and you can only see her leg. That's all I'm going to let you see of my wife. And her hand. And the camera keeps shutting off, but that's okay because I keep cursing, so it needs to be shut off. So now what I'm doing, I hope that cement didn't set too long in the 85 hours that it took me to get this jug on here. I think the pins must be lined up because the cylinder slid over the piston and rings. And we'll see. And like I said, I've been putting in 2-stroke oil and everything. And I'm going to probably tighten these. Everything is just going on hand tight right now. These are the 10mm nuts that hold on the jug. And I've got the cement, whatever that gasket seal or case seal or whatever that I put on there.
Ultra blue.
Yeah. Ultra blue. Come on. I should have a blooper reel. And then somebody's like, no, your whole video is a blooper reel. Hey-o! All right, not sure where we left off. But this is the engine we got here, and some of you may have noticed that I left a major component out of gear that drives the sprocket, which drives the wheel. Now I can tell you right now that I can spin this by hand, kind of. Hopefully it's not binding up anywhere real bad, but I think it's spinning. Can it go all the way around? A revolution all the way around? Yeah, I think so. So we're good. I think we're good as far as rebuilding the top end. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's because the clutch is not engaged. All right, well, anyway, I think we got this so far. So let me sign out. OG Big T over and out. And on to the editing room. All right, try and keep my fingers out the way. But if I put the key in the flywheel provisionally. It's not tightened on there, nothing like that. Clutch is not all the way set up, you know. But for now, that piston by hand, baby. You can hear a little bit of compression too. Hold on. Well, I don't know about compression, but you can see the gear wanting to spin, right? And if you do it the other way, you can see, oh, what a camera angle. You can see the clutch and the sprocket engaging, right? Spin the gear here. Actually, of course, the clutch is spinning the gear, not the other way around. But all that has to be set up. But anyway, OG Big T is tired, and he has 800 hours of footage that he needs to edit down to one 5-minute video. All right, party people, have a great day. Out.